you have had a number of games overseas in recent years. And in fact, you opened the season going to the opening game in Brazil. So do you expect to do more overseas games? And is that a part of your strategy?
It is. We had 5 last year. We expect to have 8 this year, which will be the highest we've ever had. Our hope would be at some stage to get to 16 games in the next few years. We think we can do that. I think it's an indication of the popularity of our game. Every time we take our game to a new market, Brazil's a great example of it, the fans go crazy for it. They sold out the tickets in less than 90 minutes. People had a wonderful time. It was the talk of the town. And I think it will be the basis and the sort of the match that lights the excitement and the popularity of the game in that market, as well as what we're doing around the world. So we're very excited by it. It's just one element of that strategy. You need to have television. You need to have activity and participation in the sport, and flag football is a big part of that. So all of those factors, I think, are going to be what we think will be a very successful formula to be a global sport.
Or do you ever envision having a team that's based overseas in Mexico City or in London?
Listen, we've talked an awful lot about it, and I think there are markets that could, without question, support an NFL franchise. I think there's a lot of issues with expansion of our league that we have to debate on that one. Additional teams, we have 32 now. We think that's a really good number for the NFL. But also, I think we would probably look at it potentially as building out by divisions as opposed to individual teams. You have a lot of issues with a team that's in, let's say, Europe, and having to travel over playing games, and teams going back over to Europe to play. I think the competitive issues still need to be worked out.
So one of the issues some of the owners have talked about is having an 18th game. It used to be 16 games a year. Now it's 17. Now some talk about 18. What do you think the likelihood of that is? And would the players be happy with that or not happy with that?
So I think if we continue to focus on the safety, I think 18 is a potential. And as you know, we would take a preseason game away. So we would keep within that 20-game framework. We actually started at 14 and 6 preseasons. We went to 16 and 4, and now 17 and 3. So 18 and 2 is a logical step, but we would only do that with the players.
Recently, the NFL allowed private equity firms, including mine, to invest in NFL teams in minority stakes, I think up to 10%. And a number of these have already been done. In fact, I think valuations are above the $6 billion level that the Commanders received. I think some of the minority stake investments are at least $8 billion valuations. So why did you let the bad guys known as the private equity people into the tent? And why have you capped it at 10%?
One, letting the bad guys in, we really feel like there are things that you all can teach us a little bit about our business, and maybe help us think about it a little differently. As you know, that 10% position is a silent position. We believe very strongly in the fact that we like the principal owner approach that we've had for years and other sports have had successfully. So we want to make sure that the controlling owner is the one that makes the decisions on behalf of the club, both at the league level and at the club level.
But do you ever envision a time that a sovereign wealth fund could invest directly in a minority stake in a team?
I don't think we'll ever allow institutional in a controlling position, at least in the foreseeable future. Again, I think we feel very strongly about having a principal owner that is there operating the franchise, responsible for that, both in the club level as well as the league level.